So we're going to start today's video up here with one of our breeder bucks. Now this is Big Shot, and Big Shot has shed one of his bases about 3 days ago. So welcome back, guys, to a beautiful day here in western Oklahoma. And like I said, we're going to do a documentation today of our other breeder buck, and we're going to do an antler update on Speck here today. So it's been pretty windy and nasty all week, and I haven't had a chance to do any filming. So we're a little late on getting his documentation down. Like I said, about 3 days ago, he did shed one side, and he's still holding on to the other, obviously. And a lot of times they're going to do that. They don't hardly ever really shed at the same time, even though the 3 other bucks that we featured here did shed on the same day. He didn't do it last year, and he's not going to do it this year. He held on to that left side a little bit longer, probably a week or so before the other side. So what I'm going to try to do is actually push him around a little bit and try to get him to maybe prance a little bit or run a little bit, and see if we can't bounce that other side off. That would be a really cool thing to see on camera if I can get that to happen. So I'm going to go around this panel here and just kind of push him down along the pen, not really pressure him real hard, just try to get him to maybe run a little bit. These girls are already up in the corner, so we'll go around the shade panel and just kind of push them around. Now that's Slim right there. She's the one that we doctored earlier, about a month ago or so, and she has really made a nice recovery after being sickly for a lot of the winter. We're hoping that she actually was well enough to get bred, so see what he'll do. So he did prance a little bit there. I don't want to run him real hard and get him into the fence or anything, so we won't push it too much. But you can see these deer are really heavily shedding their winter coats. They all look pretty shabby. And that's just a normal thing every year. They shed that winter coat off. Now this is Ruby right there. She's turning 10 years old this year, and she is really heavily shedding her winter coat. So let's see if we can get him to move and bounce that antler off. Well, it don't look like it's going to happen today, so we'll keep you updated whenever he does. We'll let you know how long he held on the other side, and that's part of why we're doing these videos, is to document these kind of events, when they shed, when they're come out of their velvet, and when they have fawns and everything, so we know exactly what's going on with these deer, and we're able to look back and see exactly what they did the year before, and kind of helps us learn a little bit more about these deer. So what we'll do, I think we'll go down the middle alley here. The dogs are really restless. They're wanting out. So I don't want to get around there and get them to barking too much. So we'll just come down the middle alley. Like I said, when we built this facility, we made sure that these pens had alleyways in between them so that we could keep the bucks from fighting with each other through the fence, and that we can move the deer around into pens for breeding, and stuff like that. So it's real easy to move these deer around. So we have 4 pens here, and Big Shot is in the south pen, and Little Bo here, he's in the east pen, and he's by himself right now, but we're planning on putting Speck and Bo together for the summer, and that'll free up one of our pens so that we can kind of rotate these deer around and make sure that these pens get a rest where we're able to clean them up and kind of do a little bit better job at animal husbandry and keeping our pens a little cleaner. Hey, Bo, you chilling out? Can't bypass Nina and Topaz. Hey, baby. Hey, Nina Boo. Yeah. Star of the show, aren't you? Hey, Diamond. Let's ease down here towards Speck and see how close we can get to him. You see there's a lot of winter grass here in the alleyways. That'll give us something that we can kind of coax him up with, maybe. He's not all that flighty, but like I said before, these guys, even though they're pen raised deer and all that stuff, they're still white-tailed deer, and they still notice any little difference. Like when I'm wearing the camera and when I'm not, they'll notice it, and they act differently when I have the camera on and when I don't. So there he is. He's looking really good. He's not showing much sign of shedding his winter coat like these normal deer do. Now, with him, as far as shedding goes, he doesn't go through this dramatic shed that a lot of these normal color-phased deer do. If you'll notice Nina here, right here on her backside, she's shed out, and she's already got some of her summer coat coming in there. But with Speck here, he looks to be not having those patches of hair loss, and he never does. He always just gradually takes him a little bit longer to turn that summer red, but he don't go through that dramatic hair loss in the spring like a lot of these other deer do. But anyway, let's get him up here and see what those antlers are looking like. Now, of course, I see him every single day, so I can already tell you that he's coming along pretty good on his progressions. See if I can get him up here to this. Okay, that's pretty good there. You can see there he's really pushing up above his hairline now, and his scab is pretty much all the way healed. So we're into daylight savings time now, and the days are getting longer, and hopefully we're going to start getting a little bit warmer weather, and these deer should really start pushing some antler here soon. I would expect by the next 30 days or so, he'll be maybe 3 or 4 inches up over his head, and maybe even close to into brow tines. We'll just have to see. Just from past years, I know that he should be at least 3 or 4 inches up over his head by the middle of April anyway. But you never know. Like I said, he hasn't grown a full set of antlers since he was 4 years old, and he's turning 7, so this will be his 7th set. So a lot of deer, they may go backwards as they get older, and they may be bigger. You just really never know. I expect him to be possibly a little bit more, I wouldn't say trashy, but I would expect the older he gets, he's going to start putting on some more tines. He was a clean 7x7, just as typical as you can get, when he was a 4-year-old when we bought him. And I expect he'll probably split some of his tines this year. We'll be really lucky if we get him that close. But it's all about routine with these guys. I'm down here every day, and I just sit here quiet and just be real easy and see just that little bit of movement. Even though he wasn't paying attention to me, it kind of spooked him a little bit. So there's another month gone by, another update for our piebald here, and the start of the growth of our other breeder buck. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We should have fawns here coming up pretty soon. Middle to late May, so we're still a couple months out from fawns, but we'll definitely be bringing you guys some footage of them babies and a lot more updates on the bucks as they grow out during the year. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.